Hey everybody, ZoomZike here, continuing some more Sonic Generations. In the last episode, well, it was more of a joke of an episode since it was only like 5 minutes. But anyways, we went through Green Hill Zone on our skateboard and many other places on our skateboard. And in this episode... I'm sorry, Cream, I interrupted you the first couple seconds. You can kill me, Chow, if you like, I'm so sorry. And in this episode, we're going to be starting all the missions of the Dreamcast era. I was about to say Genesis era, but man, I'm not going to do that again. We will be going through the Dreamcast era this time. And the 20-minute episodes start now, because as you guys know, since I do the Classic and Modern for all of them, like I do all of Classic, Speed Highway, and all of Modern Speed Highway, and same thing goes for the other ones, this is all those episodes, it's going to be like 20 minutes a piece. So I hope that makes up for the joke of an episode that was 5 to 6 minutes last one, because that was like pathetic. I mean, I can't even, now that I look back on it, I don't even know why I released it. I should put some more stuff in there, because there was, now that I think about it, there were many things that I probably could have added in there. Okay, now regarding this mission, there are a couple parts in this mission where you wish you were Cream. Like, there are some platforming parts where there's platforms moving side to side, like this one right here. I just suck at this part, and Cream, she's just moving up there, and guess what? Look, the goal's like right there, so I'm like, no, and then I managed to get through there, and I think there's the last Chow there, but man, I don't want to see the Chows here, because it makes me want to go to the Chow Garden in my Sonic Adventure 2 battle thing, because as you know, all this is play on Steam. The way I got all these Sonic games on Steam was I got the Sonic Adventure Sonic Mix Pack, where it basically has a huge amount of Sonic games, probably like 15 of them. I may have said this before. I think I think it's really awesome. And at this moment right here, I'm like, wait, which one do I go to? Because there's challenge 1s, through challenge, and then I go over to challenge 5, then 3, then 4, and then yeah. Hot Pursuit. Now, if there's any mission that I can just murder in this game and replace it with a better mission, I mean, even like, I don't know. I would love to replace missions like this one. Because this mission, guess what you have to do? You have to collect all these rings, and that's not too hard, right? I mean, collecting the rings on its own, it's not really hard at all. I have more of a problem with this on Modern. Classic isn't that bad, but the whole problem I have with it is, see that bomb that it dropped? That red and black little thing there? That's my problem with it. You can be working so hard to getting a certain amount of rings, and then everything can just die on you. And also, I don't know what's the point of this. Anyways, did it say to collect a certain amount of rings? I didn't see that. Because right now, all I see is a timer and no ring count. It's not really telling me anything right now. I think you have to avoid the bombs, and the rings are just there just to be there. I think there's one in Modern where you have to collect a certain amount of rings and then get to the goal, and that one's just a pain in the butt. I had like a bunch of takes on that, and it was just a really annoying mission to try to grasp. Because these missions, just letting you know, I just want to let you guys know right now, a little hint to these missions that I do. The way you know if it was in one take or not is if it starts normally. Like, if you see Speed Highway and it just reveals itself to the next stage, then that means I did it in one take. But if you see it fade in, like if you see the mechanic thing comes up and it says Speed Highway, and then it does a blend into the next one, that's basically me telling you I suck at this one, and it took me 2 or more tries to manage to get this down. So yeah, so you'll definitely see that fade in for the Sonic one, for the one where you have to get rings of Sonic, because I suck on that one. I mean, come on, it's a really difficult one, and I just make it look easy, because whenever you're doing missions, you always have to show the winning product that managed to make it, so it just makes everything look easy, and it makes everyone else feel bad. They can't do it, but you guys can do it. If you have this game, you can do it. I'm not sure if you have this game, but if you don't, then whatever. You can just keep watching then. You don't have to do anything. Okay, so, wow, that was what a jerk. Classic Sonic springs up, so it's like, yay, I'm free in this world, and then the crane thing grabs him, stuffs him in there. Not like literally stuffs him, but you know, you can catch my drift, right? He gets into that little crane thing, and then it just whips him around, and he goes through all of those barrels. Do you know how much that must have hurt? If those barrels were made of steel, like the surrounding products you see here, those barrels were made of steel. That must really, really hurt. I mean, there's lots of logic in this game that I kind of question. There's lots of logic There's lots of logic that I question in many games. The number one is obviously when you're underwater in any Mario game, you're able to shoot fireballs, and I never understood that. But now I'm starting to think maybe it's possible. Maybe his fire is so powerful that you can just shoot through it. I mean, think about it. If you had the sun and a huge pool, like, that's big enough to fit the sun, I'm pretty sure that you would be able to, like, I'm pretty sure that it would still be bright. It wouldn't just douse the entire sun, would it? Kind of like with Mario's fireballs. Maybe to the water, it's really, really hot, and therefore it's able to sustain itself without, quote-unquote, getting doused. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but hosed, doused, I'm not sure what the correct word for that is. Anyways, I wonder, like, how did the hotel people manage to build all of this here, like, so quickly? Like, you see those blocks in the back, like the blocks right here where I just got hit? Like, did they purposely make that, or was that kind of there just like for mission purposes? I can imagine like the police coming in and be like, we need here for mission purposes for a blue spiky hedgehog with red shoes to come in and burst through and try to go through a mission because some outside force is controlling him. But they're like kind of digging their own graves since, well, they're all here. Anyways, okay, now let's see here. What course are we going into next? We're going to Speed Highway next, of course, but Death Egg Zone. Now, okay, now right here, you'll see me put it to Death Egg Zone. Like right here, change music. I'm like, okay, got Death Egg Zone. Now I can finally change music, which I've been lacking. But right here, I won't be putting it to Death Egg Zone because I just don't really feel like it. Because I edited it so like it just didn't have Death Egg Zone because Death Egg Zone, I mean, sure, you guys might like the music. I like the music a little bit. It's like ding 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 ding, and it kind of does that, and it has every like 30 seconds or 45 seconds it would do another loop of the same theme. I'm like, okay, I'm getting tired of this. This course is like 2 minutes long or a minute long, and I don't want to hear it replay 3 times in a row. So then I just kind of go like, okay, I'm just gonna put the regular thing, and I really want to put His World. I was seeing if it was instrumental. I'm like praying. I'm like, dear God, please be the instrumental version. And then I hear like a feet sits a rockin' and he's ready to roll, and I'm like, no, it's the lyrical version. I didn't want the lyrical version. It made me so sad because I'm like, okay, instrumental. I'm gonna be able to listen to a freaking awesome theme. An awesome song thing like Live and Learn and Endless Possibilities, Reach for the Stars even, and His World's one of those epic themes. And then I just get the lyrical. I wanted the instrumental. I could insert, now that I think about it, there's a mode in the options for this game, Sonic Generations, obviously, where you're able to turn down all the music and only have sound effects. And there's also an option to turn down all the sound effects and only have music. So maybe, just maybe, I could like turn down all the music, and then I could like put it like an instrumental version of His World if I ever felt like it, like anytime. So I could put in any music now that I think about it, except music that is copyrighted, because that would be bad for my channel. Because if you guys obviously don't know, there's one thing about copyrighted music. Obviously, if you put music that has been paid for, then it'll get copyrighted. But there's one thing that I'm starting to notice. I had this other channel, and it had I kind of forgot about it, and it had Nintendo music on it. Like, it had, like, some things had Nintendo music on it. Like, if I was showing something off or, like, giving information on something, it had Nintendo music on it. And then I went back onto the channel just for nostalgia purposes, and I noticed it said third-party right claim from Nintendo, and I'm like, wait a minute, since when does Nintendo care about copyright? So I started to look this up, and I noticed that Nintendo actually, believe it or not, they have these like little packs of music. So like, you can buy a packet of Super Mario Sunshine music. Like, you can go to a big Nintendo store and you can get Super Mario Sunshine music, like literally in a box with all the musical tracks. And since they started selling those, they're starting to get rid of the basically raw files of music that belongs to them. So like starting Super Mario Sunshine, I don't know, because it just kind of boom, it was just right off the bat. And they got rid of a Super Mario Galaxy 2 thing. I think it was Sky Station Galaxy. Not sure if that was Galaxy 1 or 2. I think it was 2. But it doesn't matter which one it is, right? Anyways, they started getting rid of those, and I'm like, oh no, this is bad. They might start copyrighting Let's Plays. But I'm like, no, they wouldn't start copyrighting Let's Plays because they're copyrighting music right now. Why would they copyright Let's Plays? I mean, they had the chance because they had the chance because if they're copyrighting music, there's probably a channel out there that had music on there with Let's Plays, and they probably could have gotten rid of it. And they haven't. I've actually seen a channel that has music on there, and the music was gotten rid of. But the Nintendo Let's Plays of like Mario games, that was not gotten rid of. So Nintendo's obviously cool with Let's Plays. If you don't know that already, Nintendo's completely cool with Let's Plays. But they're not cool with the music stealing, or quote unquote stealing. And at first when I saw it, it's like third-party right claim. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna rebuttal this. This is probably an automatic. I see who it's from. Nintendo. Acknowledge. I can't go against Nintendo. It's impossible. I can't go against Nintendo. Well, we got Hydro City Zone, and too bad it doesn't really fit in with anything here. That really sucks. But here's the mission. Here, I'll show you the fade-in. Look at it. See that fade-in? Okay, now that's just gonna be a little marked there. Whenever you see that fade-in, that basically means that it took 2 or more tries for me to get it on it. But if you don't see fade-in, that means that it likely, well, it did take 1 try to do it. So this one was just annoying. The problem with this one is there's lots of rings and such that you're able to get, but the problem is where they drop the bombs. Where they drop the bombs, they're just jerks in this one. Because they'll drop a bunch of rings in one selected area. And there's a moment you'll see here, they'll drop a bunch of rings in one selected area. You're like, woohoo, lots of rings, we're gonna get rich, we're loaded. And you see all these rings, and then they'll put a surprise bomb, like right there. Like right in front of you where they know where you're walking. It's like Sega conducted an experiment, like they took like 10 Sonic fans, and they just made them do this mission beforehand. And they said, okay, let's see where they're gonna go. And they managed to find out like the perfect psychological spot of where all the rings would drop and where the bomb would drop. And I'll show you, well, I'm showing you right here. This is where they would drop the bomb every now and then. They would, not here, fail. Right around here, like you would keep going and normally you would run right into that. And then I'm like, okay, this is kind of trial and error process. I'll just be honest here. This is probably, I think, yeah, this is my 5th attempt. This is my 5th attempt at doing this mission. And the second I got 100 rings, I'm like, I'm out of here. Gotta get out of here. I'm just gonna leave. I'm like, I'm not even gonna go for overkill. Well, I did get some overkill because it was like 10 seconds overkill, which was obviously good enough. But okay, artwork. I forgot what number that was, but I don't really. Was that number 89? I think that was number 89. Also, I love how the hologram. Was a little bit ahead right there. Like in the thumbnail, it showed the hologram head as if it was gonna beat us. That's funny, Sega. As if the hologram could beat us. And in this wall part, I failed on my first run through of Speed Highway. But the thing you have to do is point the analog, stick the direction to the wall, and then you'll start running onto the wall. Now let's see here. Oh yeah, I've been getting a couple. I got this new game on Steam. You may have heard of it. It's been made in 2012. I have no idea how I haven't heard of this before, because it's a really awesome game. It's called a Half-Minute Hero, and let me see right here. It's a very extended title name. I think they just did it for fun. I call it Half-Minute Hero, and many other people do, but the full name of it is Half-Minute Hero Super Mega Neo Climax Ultimate Boy. So, saying that fast, hey dude, let's play some Half-Minute Hero Super Mega Neo Climax Ultimate Boy. Okay, basically, I'm not gonna go all advertising and sponsory on you, but basically, in every level, you have 30 seconds to beat the boss of that level, and you level up, you get partners, you go through RPGs, and you get weapons during the level. And if you're about to run out of time, you'd have to go to a statue and renew your time, and basically keep renewing time until you can't anymore, and you go to fight the boss. That's kind of all I'm gonna say, because other than that, I would be stepping into the sponsor zone. Dang, I wish. It's like I got like $5 from that. I'm just waiting I'm just waiting for a YouTube PM where I get it from the sponsors of the game. Not the sponsors of the game, the makers of the game. It's like, thank you for sponsoring our game. Here's like $10 for sponsoring your game. Then I'm like, woo. Now I can get, I don't know what I can get with $10. What could you get with $10? Imagine all the things you can get with $10. I don't think you get anything too good with $10. Well, in some games like Endless Dash, Endless Running games, like Temple Run or something, I think there's some things where you're able to like double the amount of coins you get, like indefinitely, like for the rest of the thing. And I think they released this new app thing called Sonic Dash, which is basically Sonic Temple Run, but I think it's better. You don't tilt, you slide back and forth, and you're basically Sonic going through basically Green Hill Zone and Seaside Hill. And I think this other place, I think they include Ocean Palace, which is a part of Sonic Heroes. In which Sonic Heroes, when you play Team Sonic, there's 4 different teams. I think it's Team Sonic, Dark, Rose, and Chaotic, which is basically SBO, Vector, and Charmy. But when you choose Team Sonic, you go through Seaside Hill as your first course, and then you go through Ocean Palace. So in Sonic Dash, you would go through like Green Hill Zone, Seaside Hill, and Ocean Palace, or just Seaside Hill and Ocean Palace, because for some reason, I don't know why, Sega really seems to enjoy Sonic Heroes, and I'm completely fine with that. Because what I've been noticing, I don't know if you guys have noticed this that much, but in some Sonic games, they've been like, Sega has been acknowledging like Seaside Hill. Like they're really starting to like Seaside Hill lately. I mean, of course they have Seaside Hill in Sonic Generations, but they also have it in Sonic Dash, and well, apparently they just like Seaside Hill because they have the entire game revolved around Seaside Hill. They must like it. Same thing goes for Nintendo, but with Super Mario Sunshine. With Nintendo, they really like Super Mario Sunshine. I mean, they have in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, they have an entire course revolved around Super Mario Sunshine Delfina Plaza, and one of Mario's moves in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, it was Flood, which is basically you bring out Flood, and then you charge him up for about 3 seconds, like ding, and then once you're able to do that, you hold your analog stick downwards, you press B, it releases the water, and then your opponents get like pushed back a lot. So I'm just assuming that like Nintendo really starts liking Super Mario Sunshine. I hope they make one for the Wii U. That's what I'm praying. If they make one for the Wii U, I swear that will be the best thing ever. Because if you guys don't know already, Super Mario Sunshine is like my most favorite game like ever. And Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is my most favorite Sonic game ever. Because it has the Chow Garden and it's just really fun gameplay. But with Super Mario Sunshine, there's like so much to do. There's lots of replay value because you can redo certain things. I can redo races. And it's just really fun. But anyway, did you hear SBO right there? He's like, ninja arts, camouflage. That reminded me of like Naruto, where he's like, does Naruto say ninja arts? I think he just says Shadow Clone Jutsu. But if you don't know this already, I'm just a huge Naruto fan. I keep saying his name wrong. What kind of fan am I if I can't just say the dang anime character's name correctly? But I've been like watching the series every Thursday. I just watch an episode because I just can't get enough of it. I've been probably seeing like every single episode besides probably a couple fillers, but I want to start leaning towards that kind of. I don't want to. Just forget about it. We are fighting SBO right now, and we're gonna get to a part in the battle where the entire screen is just frozen. Like not frozen as in like it would be like in which it's like frozen as in broken. But you'll see what I mean right here. There's going to be a part right here where the entire screen's just going to be completely still. And it's going to feel like some kind of RPG or some kind of 8-bit, 16-bit game where you just got to kind of stay in the same spot and you have to go around in circles, eating a bunch of dots and getting a power-up to destroy ghosts. Yeah, this is Sonic. What were you guys thinking of? I definitely not Pac-Man. I am totally not referencing Pac-Man. Here's the part right here. Because right here it felt a little awkward to control Sonic. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. How do I do this? Because there's a bunch of beaming lights and it's like blocking your view of Sonic. And I'm like, whoa, it's like a little weird. But anyways, we completed it because we are bosses. Well, you're giving me moral support. I'm pretty sure that where you are right now, you're probably like cheering me on and clapping. Totally. Yeah, that's totally happening like right now. But anyways, what do we get? 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 Sounds like Screw It Boost, Marble Zone. Like everyone's favorite zone ever in Sonic the Hedgehog, right next to Labyrinth, right guys? If you play the original Sonic the Hedgehog, the favorite one, the best one is Marble Hill Zone and Labyrinth. I'm pretty sure you guys would agree with me on that. And with that, this has been ZoomZike, and I'll catch you guys later on the next episode of Sonic Generations.